There is a moment in a song. You already know the one. A voice that cracks on a single held note. A wave of strings that climbs out of nowhere. A drop, a swell, a silence right before everything returns. And then it happens. A shiver runs down your spine. It spreads across your arms. The hair on your skin stands up, and for a few seconds you feel completely, helplessly moved. You didn't ask for it. You didn't decide to feel it. It simply arrived. Most people call this being touched by a song, a nice feeling, a sign of good taste. But the real answer is far stranger than that. That shiver is an ancient survival reflex, hundreds of thousands of years old, firing off for a sound that cannot hurt you at all. Scientists have a name for it. They call it frisson. Sometimes they call it a skin orgasm, which sounds absurd until you feel one. And once you understand where it comes from, you will never hear your favorite song the same way again. So what is actually happening to your body in that moment? Start with the goosebumps. Those tiny bumps rising on your arms are caused by something called piloerection. Each hair on your body sits in a follicle. Attached to that follicle is a microscopic muscle. When that muscle contracts, it pulls the hair upright and the skin around it puckers into a bump. Your body did not invent this for music, it invented it for survival. When a cold wind hits a furry animal, those muscles stand the fur on end, trapping a layer of warm air against the skin. When a threatened animal needs to look bigger, those same muscles puff its coat outward. The way a cat doubles in size in front of a dog. This is the system you inherited. The same reflex that warmed your distant ancestors and made frightened creatures look enormous. You still carry it. You just barely have any fur left to show for it. So here is the strange part. Why does a song trigger a reflex built for cold and danger? To answer that, a neuroscientist named Anne Blood, working with Robert Zatorre at McGill University, slid people into a brain scanner and played them music. Not random music, each person brought the exact piece that reliably gave them chills. Then the researchers watched, in real time, which parts of the brain lit up at the moment the shiver hit. What they found was remarkable. The music was activating the same deep reward circuits that respond to food, to sex, to certain drugs. These are the most primal pleasure systems you have. They exist to make you chase the things that kept your species alive. And a melody, a pattern of air pressure waves, was setting them on fire. Sit with that for a second. The part of your brain that rewards you for eating when you are starving is the same part that rewards you for a perfect chord change. Your survival hardware cannot tell the difference. To your ancient brain, the right song feels almost like being fed, but it goes deeper, because feeling good is not the same as feeling chills. A few years later, another researcher at the same lab, Valerie Salimpour, wanted to know exactly which chemical was behind the shiver. So she scanned people's brains while they listened, and she tracked a single molecule, dopamine, the brain's currency of wanting and reward. She discovered something almost no one expected. The dopamine did not peak only at the climax of the song. A large surge arrived several seconds before the big moment, while the listener was still waiting for it. The brain was flooding itself with reward in anticipation, in the breath right before the payoff. Do you see what that means? The chill is not really about the note you hear. It is about the note your brain predicted was coming. This is the secret at the center of the whole thing. Your brain is a prediction machine. Every second of your life, it is guessing what happens next, a fraction of a moment before it happens. When you listen to music, it is constantly forecasting the next note, the next beat, the next turn of the melody. Most of the time, the music does exactly what your brain expects, and you feel pleasant, and nothing more. But the greatest moments in music do something sneakier. They set up a pattern, let you predict it, and then bend it. They delay the note you were craving. They resolve to a chord you did not see coming. They build, and then deliver something even better than the thing you were promised. That gap between what you expected and what actually arrives is where the shiver lives. The music theorist David Huron spent years studying this exact tension. He argues that powerful music works by playing a game with your expectations. It teaches you the rules. Then it breaks them at the perfect moment in a way that feels not like a mistake, but like a gift. Your brain, braced for one thing and handed something better, releases a flood of reward, and your ancient fur-raising reflex misfires in the most beautiful way. So, a key change that lifts you. A voice that holds a note longer than it should. A song that goes quiet and then explodes. These are not random. They are violations of prediction engineered, sometimes by instinct and sometimes on purpose, to crack open your reward system. But there is one more twist, and it is the strangest of all. You would think chills come from happy music, from triumph, from joy. Yet a psychologist named Jaak Panksepp ran a study and found the opposite. Sad music produced chills more reliably than happy music did. The ache, the longing, the song about something lost, that is what most often raised the hairs on people's skin. Why would sadness in sound do that? Panksepp had a haunting idea. He connected the chill to the cry of separation. Picture a young animal lost, calling out for its mother. Picture the rush of feeling when that call is finally answered. He suspected that the bittersweet ache certain music gives you is tapping into that same ancient circuit of loss and reunion, the deep social wiring that bonds a creature to its group. Sad music does not just sound like longing. To your nervous system, it may feel like the real thing. This is why a song about heartbreak can comfort you instead of hurting you. It reaches the part of you that evolved to feel the pain of separation, and it tells that part it is not alone. Now, think about who you are when this happens to you. Not everyone gets chills, and the people who do are not random. A researcher named Mitchell Culver found that the listeners most prone to frisson tend to score high on a trait called openness to experience. They are the ones who let the music in deeply, who turn it over in their minds, who listen actively instead of letting it wash past. The shiver, it turns out, is partly a reward for paying attention, for being fully there. So the next time it happens to you, notice what your body's really doing. A reflex built to warm cold skin and frighten predators is firing inside you, set off by a pattern of sound. Your most primal reward systems, the ones that crave food and safety and connection, are treating a melody as if it were survival itself. Your prediction machine is being delighted by a beautiful surprise. And somewhere underneath it all, an ancient circuit of loss and belonging is being gently touched by a stranger who wrote a song. You are not just enjoying music, you are running every emotional system your species ever built all at once, for no survival reason whatsoever. And maybe that is the point, maybe that is the most human thing of all. Your ancestors raised their fur against the cold and against the dark. They cried out across the distance and waited to be answered. They learned to predict the world to stay alive, and they felt the rush when the world surprised them with something good. You inherited every one of those systems, and then, somewhere along the way, you did something no other creature has ever done with them. You aimed them at beauty. You took the alarm built for danger, the hunger built for food, the ache built for the ones you lost, and you pointed them all at a song. So there is a moment in a song. You already know the one. And now you know that the shiver it gives you was never really about the music. It was always about you and every fragile, ancient thing you carry inside finally being heard.